Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ayer Board of Selectmen meeting. Tonight is Thursday, May 17th, and we thank you for allowing us to adjust the meeting tonight. So, before I take a motion for on the agenda, I would like to take a moment. It is with sadness tonight that we will pause to remember former Selectman woman Pauline Hamill, who left us on May 4th. As many of you may know, Pauline Hamill served on the Board of Selectmen for 6 years. She represented the town at the Pentagon during the base closure hearings for Fort Devens. As a very active member of St. Mary's Church, she was able to even appear on the Ed Sullivan Show as the only female in the St. Mary's Drum and Bugle Corps. She will always be remembered for her smile, laugh, helpfulness, and the wealth of historical knowledge in the town of Ayer. They say that no one is really gone as long as you remember them. With that, I hope that her family takes heart in knowing that Ayer will never forget her. She is a part of the history of this town. She is woven into the fabric of this town. On behalf of the Ayer Board of Selectmen, we offer our heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, loved ones, and we thank you for sharing her with us all these years. And if we could all just bow our heads and take a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. All right. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, any changes to the agenda?
I don't have any. You?
Madam Chair, members of the board, the APAC Board of Directors will not be coming before the board this evening. That's the only change on the agenda.
Okay. Nothing else?
No. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as adjusted with APAC being removed.
All right, and I'll second it. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, agenda's approved. Couple of announcements. The Memorial Day Parade and ceremonies will be on Saturday, May 26, 2018. The parade will begin on Brook Street at 10 a.m. The Memorial Day ceremonies will begin around 10:30 a.m. at the Memorial Garden adjacent to Town Hall. We're going to be at the Memorial Garden, not up front. Well, you'll see everybody. And the Memorial Day Parade and ceremonies are organized and sponsored by the American Legion Post 139. Also, I'd like to just let everyone know that this coming Monday and Tuesday, which would be the 21st and 22nd of May, the DPW administrative offices will be closed while they move into the new building. If there are any emergency calls, please call the Board of Selectmen's office at 978-772-8220. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody here for public input? Anyone? Okay. All right then. So, I see we have an application for a Class 2 used motor vehicle license. All right, want to come forward?
My name's Clayton Hartz.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Just like to get a used motor vehicle license if I could. Probably for like 2 cars, maybe 3 cars at the most.
Mhm.
We work on cars anyways. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity for my guys to learn more as we're getting a different crew in right now. My man has been with me for almost 20 years now. I lost Dave down the street in Jiffy Lube. But like with the newer kids coming in, it give them an opportunity to perform, more in-depth mechanical procedures on cars. And once they're done, it's all.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Looking through the packet, I didn't see any objections or anything. Did you have anything?
No objections. Everyone signed off with nothing. Just curiosity, how many employees do you have?
5.
5. Okay. I think it's a great opportunity to go beyond just doing oil changes to
We've
learn
already
something a little more in depth.
started doing it a little already,
Yeah.
and it's worked out really well.
Excellent.
And Madam Chair, just based on the conversation I had with Clayton when he applied, I did limit it to 2 cars at a time on this. I can always amend it
Okay.
and have you guys re-sign it.
Okay.
Or I can go print it now. I mean, it's up, whatever you guys
Yeah, it
decide.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take it.
So
I don't have
you're,
enough
So-
time to do more than that.
okay, so you're fine with how
Yeah,
it's
2
written
cars
right
is
now?
fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the application for a Class 2 used motor vehicle license as presented.
Seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Always strange when there's 2. Because you're like waiting for that third voice, you know? All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Clayton.
Clayton, if you want to just come pick it up tomorrow,
Okay.
you're good to go.
Will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. I'm kind of excited about this next one,
I think everyone is.
you know, because I've started to call it the Coming Soon restaurant.
Come on up, Ken.
So this is for an application for the common yeah.
Victualler.
He wants to open a restaurant, he needs a license. He's going to try it. Welcome. Please introduce yourself, please.
My name is Ken. My last name is Huang, and I've been working over there for almost a year in terms of getting ready, prepare, doing the things need to do to get ready. And right now I think it's getting close to get going.
How close?
If everything goes smooth, I'm thinking beginning of June.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
3 weeks.
All right. What's your menu going to be like?
Mostly focus on Japanese cuisine, which is sushis and some kitchen cooking like grill stuff. Will be a lot of teriyaki. But the variety of the foods will be very rich, like salmon, shrimps, steak, chicken, salads. But will be a full menu. You know, we're also gonna have like pizzas. And we have a long big bar that was there before already, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be good. I think.
Great. We'll write on that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I know we're very excited to finally
Yeah.
see this open up. I've been, like I said, I've been referring it to the Coming Soon because the Coming Soon sign's been there for so long.
Too soon.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any questions?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. I'll reiterate it. You know, I've been asked multiple times when it's opening, and I'm happy to hear it opening soon.
Yeah.
Real soon.
June.
Of 2018, right?
June 1st, yeah.
Okay. We just need to clarify.
Yeah.
Was the delay an oven or something like that? Was there
Yeah,
some
we gotta
apparatus?
take care of.
Yeah, but that was the what
Because
held you up,
that was
right?
the issue, and then we have to replace a brand new one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Madam Chair, just for Selectman Hood's benefit, you guys approved the liquor license last year. It's in holding until he just needs to. He's been working with the fire department, and as soon as I get the certificate from Chief Pedrazi, he's good to go.
Okay, thank you.
And I just done all the requirement for Mr. Bozic.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
if you can call him tomorrow, see
Will do. Yeah.
if you want me to submit him.
Yep. Will do.
Thank you.
Sure.
Kristen?
I'm good. You have anything else?
Just if you want to make the motion, why don't you get situated?
Yeah, no problem. That's why I was just asking. I'll make a motion to approve a common victular license.
Hard word to say.
It is for Osawa Bistro at 9 Main Street.
Second.
Okay. And no further discussion? Okay. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
And the chair says aye. Congratulations. We're very excited. Are you going to have like takeout, print out menus or something?
Yeah,
Maybe you
we'll
could
have
drop
that.
by
Yeah.
some because I know we're,
Yeah.
like I said, we're very samples are always nice.
Samples.
You know, especially on Tuesday
exactly.
night or selectmen meeting. You
That's
know,
a great idea, Mark.
food is always appreciated.
Okay.
So, but yes, we're very looking forward to it, and we wish you a lot of years of success.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right,
Thank
you.
you.
I'll call you.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ken.
No. Mark.
Mark and Dan. Get two
Mark and Dan.
Hey,
Oh,
guys.
this is exciting.
So before, we have two agenda items, but before we get started, I prepared something for town meeting that unfortunately didn't get a chance, or fortunately or unfortunately didn't
Well,
get a chance.
considering everything got passed, why are you upset?
Well,
That
because I
nothing,
wanted
you know,
to
you didn't get to do your
what
dog
I
and
call my
pony
brag- That's
show?
what I call my brag letters. So, starting Monday is Public Works Week, and so I just wanted to just give a 5-minute overview of what the Department of Public Works does for the community. So, the purpose behind Public Works Week is to acknowledge what public works professionals do for the community and the town, the state, the country. What people probably don't realize is that what we do impacts their life more than any other department in town, because we have water and sewer 24/7. The guys are out plowing the roads in the middle of the night when it's snowing. So we do have a big impact. And we have a really good crew down at the DPW. They take a lot of pride in their work. They do a really good job. They're, a lot of them live in the town and are invested in the community. So, what do? We provide clean and safe drinking water every day. We collect your wastewater and treat it and put it into the Nashua River. We have safe and smooth roads, pretty smooth. Best snow plowing around. I get a lot of compliments from people that don't live in Ayer that say, I know when I get to Ayer, their roads are going to be good. And it's really interesting. Riding around, that's a picture I took one night riding around with the guys. You can imagine what it must be like doing that for 10 hours straight.
Is that in March? Is that one of the storms this March? The end of the year?
I want to say it was early in the year.
Oh.
But
That looks like that big, real heavy
Yeah,
wet
that's what I was
snow that
gonna
we
say,
had.
And these guys, they're like robots. They know exactly where to go, where to turn, where to push the snow, where to back up, where to go next. It's amazing riding around with them and seeing how they do it. When you think about it, they're doing it for long periods of time, and just that snow is hypnotizing. Solid waste disposal and recycling at a transfer station, which is one of the more popular features of the community. We maintain and clean drainage pipes, prevent flooding, and keep Ayer's ponds clean. I didn't put the slide in here, but I know at town meeting that Mr. Daniels from the Conservation Commission mentioned how we're measuring water quality in the ponds. Well, Dan does that, and we do it about 4 times a year?
3 times a year. Yeah.
Goes out in the canoe, we collect water samples, and we put that all into the GIS database. So
Make a day of it? Bring your rod or anything like that?
and then, we mow, we street sweep, we put up new signs, and do anything we can to keep Ayer looking great. So what did we do last year? Selectman Hood might recognize a couple of people
I
in that
do recognize
picture.
2 of those girls. Actually, all 3, but 2 of them very close to my heart.
We completed the Pleasant Street reconstruction project, completed the spec pond replacement well, which is because of some of the issues we're having at Grove Pond, really timely that we got that replacement well online. We replaced the drainage system and repaved roads and sidewalks on Washington Street up by the high school. We're working our way down towards Main Street. Repaved New England Way. It's part of our industrial park. We get a lot of heavy traffic out there. The road was really in poor shape. We spent a lot of time patching potholes, and even though we don't get a lot of resident complaints out there, it's really important for our tax-paying businesses. And we constructed some stormwater BMPs and rain gardens at 3 locations. So here was one of them that we had the Girl Scouts do as their project, and they did a great job. And
It was a great project.
yeah,
Thanks for helping them with that.
and it's
I was looking
right
at that
next
today.
to-
That's the first time I've ever seen it. I noticed it.
We have another one at Peroni Park that for people that are down there with their kids at the playground.
By the way, there's been a lot of compliments about that because of the the washout that was there before. So with baseball this year, that's helped tremendously.
So what else did we do? We completed the loop on Sandy Pond Road to Wright Road, which hopefully improved the water quality and the water pressure.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, much better.
Yes.
Great.
We replaced some old water services on Snake Hill Road. One thing I found in the old days in Ayer, they never got rid of anything. They just put new stuff in. So what I found was that even though we had a new water main in the street, they never transferred the services off the old water main. So people were having some dirty water problems. Where it says we constructed the new DPW Operations Center, we're supposed to be moving in on Monday. Replace the street lights with LED lights. I'm estimating about 65% energy savings, and that was paid 100% with a Green Communities grant. And we have advanced controls on it that we can. We'll be setting up dimming schedules, and it's kind of the backbone of the future there. And we started construction of our dog park, which will be opening in June. I think I have that up there twice, yeah. We started a YouthWorks program. We have 8 teenagers from the high school, age 14 to 16. This is funded by the Central Ave Compassionate Care, and the idea behind that is to teach kids the responsibility of having a job and teach them some skills. And I think it was pretty successful last year, and we're going to keep moving. Main Street, the West Main Street Bridge is all designed. We're almost done the permitting, and we should be ready to go to bid fairly soon. We completed phase 1 of a sewer system evaluation. We've been out TVing all the lines and finding a lot of leaks in the system that we need to fix. I put the dog park up there twice. And we designed and bid phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant upgrade. I'll have the contracts at the next meeting for execution, so that's ready to get started. And that's about a $2.2 million contract. Big job. So this year, what are we doing? We have the Pearl Street water main replacement, which we have for execution tonight. We have the Willard and Myrick drainage improvements. Those are getting going.
June 11th is a tentative date right now.
Washington Street Road and sidewalk paving. I just applied for Complete Streets grant money for the sidewalks on Washington Street, as well as hopefully we can put a new sidewalk down on School Street from East Main Street down to the park. We're just bidding right now our DPW highway storage garage, and the West Main Street bridge construction should be getting going later this year. We're also working on the treatment for the PFAS contamination at Grove Pond Wellfield. We have to do a stormwater management plan. We're doing more sewer inflow, infiltration, and condition analysis. One thing we found was we have a 32-inch sewer on Sandy Pond Road, 32, 36.
Yeah.
We found it was like half full of debris.
Is that what they're doing now? Those
That's
trucks
what
that
they've
are
been
down there?
cleaning.
Yeah, because it says water main cleaning, but I assume it was.
But we're also finding there's some issues with that sewer, so we're going to be looking at what we need to do to repair that. The Barnum Road Devon's water system interconnection is just about ready to go to bid. We just need some approvals from the state, from Devon's. High Street culvert and water main improvements. I think you have the culverts here.
Tonight, yeah.
And we're also, a lot of these we're working with National Grid on, so we don't want to pave a road and have grid come in and dig it up. So we're working with them. And then we're going to do some additional road paving depending on our budgets and Chapter 90 money availability. And that's it. So it's our opportunity to thank the residents. They've, I think in all my years at town meeting, I think everything we've put forward has been approved. Yeah. This community is really looking towards the future for the infrastructure, and I think with the crew we have and with the town engineer, we get a lot of stuff done, and we're really making some progress. So just wanted to thank everybody.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Good job.
So, going back to,
You can just look at you.
so we have two agenda items. The first is the agreement for the Pearl Street water main replacement and sewer relining contract. So we opened bids on May 4th. We're going to be replacing the water main. It's a 4-inch and a 6-inch water main. It's my worst rated pipe in town. So we're going to do from Groton Street up to the end of Taft Street. And so we had 9 bids ranging from $325,754 to $591,370. The low bidder is J. D'Amico. They were the low bidder on our project on Wright Road. They also did the work for Groton up on Westford Road to the Four Corners. So we have 3 copies of the agreement for signature by the board for the amount of $325,754.64.
So did I see that once approved, it would be about 75 days? I saw something.
I think it's
I lost
70,
my
I think
original
the
note.
contract is 75 days, yeah.
Okay.
You've had good luck with D'Amico, obviously.
Yeah.
Good.
They were a little slow, as you probably noticed up on.
Oh, I noticed, but I mean, it
part of
looks like they were
I'll tell
doing
you why they
quality
were,
stuff.
one of the reasons they were slow is because they're very meticulous on their backfilling.
That's good.
And,
Yeah. No, they were. They compacted them, and I watched them. I actually talked to them a few times. They were good guys, too,
Yeah.
which helps a lot, obviously, more in the community. So I'm not used to that, so.
I almost raised a hand.
You will for a few meetings. I make a motion to, what am I doing here?
I have no idea.
Make a motion for the
It's written.
Pearl Street water main replacement. I'm sorry, I haven't done the motions in a while. Water main replacement and sewer reline contract for the sum of $325,754.64 to be awarded to J. D'Amico from Randolph, Massachusetts. Signature by the chair?
It's all 3.
Okay. And for signature by the
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye.
All right, the next item is the 2018 culvert improvements. So we designed this in-house, the culvert improvement on High Street, and we opened the bids on May 3rd, 2018. We received 4 bids ranging from $57,500 to $110,000. The low bidder was also J. D'Amico, Inc. from Randolph, Mass. And like I said, it was designed in-house by the DPW, and it's the culvert located between Winthrop Ave and Lincoln Ave. The project will be funded from our stormwater operating budget, from our culvert improvements funds. And there's 3 copies attached for signature by the board.
And that one's going to be about 60 days? For the
Yeah.
contract? That's from when the contract starts, right? I want to
Yeah.
make sure it's reading right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions or anything?
Yeah, one of the things we've done is we appropriate a certain amount of money for water main improvements, sewer relining, culvert replacement, and drainage improvements. And so this is part of that plan. And High Street is on the list to have new gas, new water main. So we're looking at doing the drainage improvements too. And then once all that's done, then we'll come in and repave that area up there.
I'll take this one. I'll make a motion to execute the agreement for 2018 culvert improvements contract with J. D'Amico for the amount of $57,500.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
How come last year everything was by the check, now everything's 3 copies?
We could change that.
That'd be great.
Slowest signature.
It's just, you know,
We took a poll and we decided that we were just going to have you continue signing
What
stuff.
we
See
do
how my
is
signature looks different every time.
we just take the previous job and change it, so sometimes I got switched to 3.
Quick question off the subject. Do you, I mean, this is a compliment, Dan. Do you have any idea what having a town engineer has saved? I mean, I'm sure you don't have the numbers on it, but I mean, it seems, as we pushed at, I mean, at the time, I mean, that's a compliment to you, obviously, but, I mean, it just seems like it's been such a
Well,
worthwhile
I'll give you an
investment.
example. When I was a consulting engineer, no matter how big the job was, when you put a job out to bid for a municipality, just the process of printing, advertising, doing addendas, getting the contracts ready was about $3,000 to $4,000. You know, we're doing that in our sleep these days. So, and then we do, like, for instance, Pearl Street Water Main job, we hired GPR, local engineering company, to do the survey for us, and then I designed it, and then they drafted it up for me. So it was pretty cheap money for getting that whole thing done. And the same thing with some of these other projects. We're using consultants, but we're kind of managing the whole design process, and so we're saving significant amounts of money on these size projects. Once we get to like the wastewater treatment plant, where you need a lot of technical expertise and specialized consultants to do structural and electrical, then it's best to just give that to someone else. But on water, sewer, and drain, it's fun to do, and we can save a significant amount of money. That just means we can do more pipe in the ground.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's great.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right, Mr. Starsick.
Yeah, I saw that. Did this camera always move and I just didn't notice it because I sat there?
I have no idea.
Like
Moved for a while, yeah.
I don't remember ever watching it. So.
Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank
Haven't
you.
seen you for a while.
It's been a couple of years,
Yeah.
but glad to be back.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm always happy to be here.
Let us know if you feel that way after you've left us.
Thank you again for having me. My name is Ed Starzek. I'm a real estate project manager with Mass Development over at Devon's. So I'm back here tonight to restart the Vicksburg Square conversation that sort of ended abruptly in 2012 at Supertown meeting when the Trinity financial proposal at that time was voted down by the towns of Harvard and Ayer. It's been 6 years. I think we've learned a lot from that process, and at the same time, a lot has changed out here at Devon's and in the three-town area. 6 years ago, Devon's had 3,200 jobs. Today, we have over 5,000 jobs. There's a lot more people coming to work at Devon's every day. The Devon's community itself has grown. We've got 40 new homes in the ground since then, with another 160 homes in the permitted and in the pipeline at this point. That's the Emerson Green project and the senior housing project at over in Shirley by the middle school that was made possible by the zoning changes that the three towns voted like about 2 years ago. So the end result of that is that we're going to be hard up against the 282 unit Devon's housing cap when that's done. Under Thatcher Keyser, our dearly departed friend, I think the relationships between Devon's and the surrounding towns generally warmed up a little bit. Thatcher was a very outward-looking manager for us. We're going to miss him. But that allowed us to get a lot more done with the communities. We've got great partnerships in education, affordable housing, regional dispatch, household hazardous waste, amongst others. We've also been pitching in on some quick hit initiatives with the surrounding towns, like this winter. Dave Blazon, who is our DPW director, filled in the town of Shirley when their director stepped down. So Dave basically ran that department through the winter as they were pushing through the snow plowing and all that challenge. And then we're also looking forward to working with Ayer on your change proposed for West Main Street. This morning you kicked off that effort. Alan kicked off the effort with a really well-attended charrette over at Grady Research. There were about 4 or 5 mass development folks there, including our engineering team. And we're looking forward to supporting that, hopefully going in for a regional application to what's it called, the Complete Streets program.
That is the Verbeck gate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Verbeck back to the Korean restaurant, back to the railroad bridge, that
Okay.
whole stretch of West Main Street.
I know there's some other real estate activity that's happened
Mhm.
recently, which is good. I don't want to mention it yet because I don't know if it's public, but which is beneficial for the town in that area.
Through the chair, just on to Mr. Starzik's point, the plan is for the town of Ayer and for Devon's Mass Development to do the first joint Complete Streets project application that has been done in the state. So we're very encouraged by that to address all the way from the Korean restaurant to the
we're
Verbeck
talking
Gate.
about, I can't think of the name. It looks like a house, but it's always packed. I can't think, right by the bridge.
Yes, so
Right after,
one-story
yeah,
brick.
yes, so if you come off the West Main Street Bridge
Yep.
headed towards Shirley, from
Right after
there
Martin
all the
Scully
way
Road,
past
yeah.
the Verbeck Gate is the plan.
And that's the street, sidewalks? Or...
The complete
Oh, I
street.
didn't realize it was that involved.
Right, and even possibly zoning. I don't know quite how, I wasn't there for the end of the session to see where Alan was kind of drawing the line, but
Through the chair, the street, it's the whole complete street, so it'd be
Great.
sidewalks, streetscape, bike lanes, lights, trees.
Yeah,
Form-based code.
yeah.
Form-based code.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, that was, it
Yeah.
just kind of piggybacked on what Alan presented last time.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Right.
Good, yeah, I actually heard about it today. Good.
You said this is going to be the first joint one in the state?
Yes, so as the chair knows and the board knows, you have to become a complete street community, which we are, but to date, there's been no regional complete street application in the state. So this would be the first, which would give us, we believe, additional points and to expedite
And
for
they've been
additional funding.
pretty good with awarding
Mhm.
to local communities I know that have applied, from what I can tell, Westford, Acton, Littleton, so hopefully
Yeah,
for that
It's
too.
exciting.
it is.
Yes.
So before he left, Thatcher had initiated a series of conversations with individuals in each of the communities. I know he made a stop in Ayer. I'm not sure exactly who all he spoke with to talk about Vicksburg Square, what benefits the redevelopment of Vicksburg Square might represent for Devens and the surrounding communities. Some of those benefits, probably first and foremost, is redevelopment of Vicksburg for residential purposes would vastly expand the variety of housing stock here in the region. It could provide new residential opportunities for young families, couples, people with small children, for seniors, for for all these Devens employees many of whom are driving in from long distances. And it could satisfy those demands at a variety of affordability levels, so market rate, moderate income, some low income.
Was the initial plan, and I'm looking at you, Scott, because I know you're involved in this, was it mostly affordable or
It was
lower
primarily affordable the first time
for the
around.
entire?
Yeah, how many units are you looking at this time around?
We're not there yet,
Okay.
but I would just the Trinity plan was about 250 units of housing, and it was, as you said, it was 80% affordable. Although some of that affordability it had a senior component, so some of that would have been affordable senior housing. We think, one of the lessons learned is that 80% affordability is probably too high a number for Devens and the surrounding communities. So
I was on the finance committee at that time, and that was our biggest concern, was the high percentage of low income and what impact that would have on the surrounding community. Let me ask you, if I may, so are you looking to revitalize the buildings as they stand or bring them down and build a new structure?
our number one, our primary goal is to save the buildings as is. Right now, they're eligible for historic tax credits. They're listed on the National Register. So we think that's a significant benefit to a developer.
Because I know, I had a friend who had a business in there, and I know that they're like a labyrinth inside
Oh, yeah.
because of the way that they were designed and built.
They are a labyrinth, but I would add that they are actually, they call it concrete post and beam construction. So
Okay.
almost imagine like a barn construction where you have posts and beams that are 10-inch by 10-inch. Vicksburg squares poured concrete beams that are 3 feet or 4 feet by 4 feet, and then those are all they split up the space by building partition walls between those beams. So the partition walls can come down again, and you can have a pretty open space in there. We think Trinity did prove that it can architecturally it does lay out for apartments.
It was very expensive though with Trinity's
I don't think
proposal
it'll
also.
be any less
It was
expensive
6 years.
hundreds of
removed.
$1,000s per unit.
to build,
to
right?
bu- Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Just picking up on the potential benefits, of course, Ayer is pretty close to achieving its 10% affordability requirement right now, but this could certainly put you at 10%.
So this would count
or more.
for heirs? Anything that's affordability would count?
About 3/4 of the property sits within the Ayer's boundaries, so yes, you would.
Okay.
Multifamily residential project at Vicksburg would support the town's efforts to revitalize West Main Street, certainly put a lot of customers for restaurants and shops down bookending that end of the corridor. And then lastly, as we just touched on, we think that residential redevelopment is probably our best shot at this point at finding a use to fit in those building shells to redevelop them. The feedback that Thatcher got from some of these conversations was that now is probably a good time to restart the conversation. So I'm here tonight. I don't have any architectural plans at this point. We don't have the key numbers like unit count, affordability levels, because we wanted to hear from you up front, get your questions, comments, lessons learned from past attempts before we roll out a proposal. We also, just to be clear, we have no developer in our back pocket at this point. We have been in contact with a number of, actually been contacted by a number of reputable development companies, both local and Boston, who are interested in the possibility. I think have a rough understanding of why this project failed before at Supertown meeting. So we're not looking to recreate that experience again. Our plan going forward is to, right now this week I've been making the rounds. I was at the Devens Committee Monday, Harvard Board of Selectmen Tuesday. Here tonight I'll be visiting planning boards and Shirley boards in coming weeks. We're trying to gather some initial feedback. We'll pull that together into a first very preliminary draft of the zoning change and offer that at a public hearing in June before school gets out. And let people cogitate on it over the summer and offer their opinions. We would restart the process in September when people are back and push towards a late October Supertown meeting, hopefully one that would piggyback on one of the towns.
I think you can pull together that fast.
That's quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's aggressive. That's why I asked.
It's aggressive. We'd like to move while the economy is still strong. Not that I think anything is going to happen, but it seems like the time is right. I think we know what the key parameters are here. Is frankly the numbers for unit count, affordability level. So,
I'm sorry. What is in it? So I guess the question for me is, we get the affordable housing. That's great. I mean, we can achieve that probably without Vicksburg Square. For me, there has to be more for the town of Ayer in just housing, whether it's moderate, middle, or low income, whether it's revenue or some type of. I know there's going to be a huge tax base that moves in there. Feels like we approve it, but we don't get a lot out of it.
Not as things work today. Certainly, no. None of the towns get cash payments.
Yeah, and I understand, I mean, the agreement was hastily put together back in '95, and it was horribly done for our benefit, the three towns, and for mass development, in my opinion, the way this is set up. But, I mean, we're only talking about Ayer here, so
Well,
I think the greatest impact is in Ayer, because it's right there, so the traffic and all that stuff, so.
Right. Well, we can talk more about what sort of benefits can be created, added on to this. I don't know if there's anything, if we can tie into any of the West Main Street work that's underway.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I haven't really thought of anything yet, but for me, there has to be some benefit beyond achieving the affordable housing. Because ultimately, whatever happens with mass development in Devon's, whenever what is that,
2033.
2032, so.
Yeah.
It's only 15 years
Yeah,
away.
really, it's really moving fast.
It is, although
Oh my God, I just realized when I first came on, it was 20 years.
And I also agree that those buildings, I mean, I just drove through the other day, and it's not something you drive by every day, but they got something's got to be done.
it does.
It's
you
a
know,
shame that they're just.
This year we did button them up to a new level of security this year. You saw the fencing,
Yeah.
the cameras, and we kind of redoubled the board ups on the windows on the exterior faces. So we cut down on the kids breaking into them. So that's, you know, the risk of a fire is probably diminished. But you're right. Every winter, you know, the buildings wear out a little more. I'd be interested to hear if there's anything more concrete you could offer about the sorts of what in addition.
I guess, I don't know if it would be, and this is off the cuff, like I do everything, whether it be some type of benefit on the tax revenue generated, or whether we can work out some other, whether that's even legal, I don't know, some other plan where Ayer benefits somehow, some way. I mean, we've done it with other entities in town, and it's worked out favorably for both. I just think this might be something to explore.
Is that like the Snake Hill development or the
No, just other businesses and stuff in town. I mean, that we've worked out, things that benefit our community.
So I think the big factors are going to be the number of units, because the original agreement capped the housing for a particular reason. We are almost at build out here in Ayer, but there's going to be still going to be an impact on the market prices. When that opens, the percentage of affordability also has an impact on it. I'm trying to think back to the items that we were looking at. One of the big issues we had the first time around, to be honest, was the way that the zoning was changed, and the wording of the zoning left it wide open. Even though it was proposed to everyone as the Trinity proposal, if Trinity didn't get funding, pulled out like they did in Lowell, if they just shut down and left, the zoning remained, and there was no.
It wasn't attached to them, that's right.
Yeah, it wasn't attached to a particular developer, and that was really a big area of concern, because there was nothing concrete saying that that the Trinity proposal is exactly what's going in to Vicksburg Square.
Right.
Even though we had many issues with some of the other numbers that we were running. I just want to stress that was the big issue. It kind of left a gaping hole if in the event that the Trinity proposal didn't move forward.
Right. But this time, I think we're doing it a little differently in that Mass Development is proposing to seek the zoning change ourselves without a developer, and then we would go out for an RFP afterwards. We could try to build some protections into that process.
Yeah.
So that there's not a switch.
Yeah, the only other comment, kind of to Chris's point, I think an October super town meeting is really aggressive, because something like this is very sensitive in our town, and I'd like to make sure we have enough time once we see the proposal and digest it that we can, have some public sessions and get some feedback from the public here in town.
And I think that's fair and more fairer to your process as well, because a lot of people in Vicksburg Square, and they revert back to the issues 6 years ago. So it might be beneficial to kind of start the process again.
Well, we'll start it up now. I mean, let's assess where we are in June and see what we think is reasonable. It's your town meeting.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
What is it? Is it Harvard? Is the other? It's weird how it slices up.
Yeah, I think
Is
the other
it Harvard?
section's in
Harvard
Harvard.
is about a quarter,
quarter.
a portion of 2 of the buildings.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
we'll be
Look forward to seeing you again.
Is the Thatcher replacement search?
The job is not posted yet.
No.
But they're preparing the description.
Okay.
Why, you interested?
Absolutely. Be fantastic that position.
Yeah, thank you.
So even tempered and stuff.
That's what I like about you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Ed.
Robert.
Sorry for the typo.
Here's the typo.
Yeah,
And you didn't take it up?
I didn't
believe
look
it.
at it.
I forgot.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I still don't see it. So.
Manager, town manager. There's a one slide.
Oh,
Demoted for a
oh,
night.
she demoted you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's okay.
Thanks, Ed. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks,
Snap.
Madam
Well, he
Chair.
was starting to get a little big for his britches already. Yeah.
Madam Chair, members of the Board of Selectmen, good evening. Just a couple of things under the administrative update. In your packet, payroll warrant number 18-22 in the amount of $306,211.47 was reviewed and signed on May 8th. And the accounts payable warrant number 18-21 in the amount of $1,284,085.62 was reviewed and signed on May 14th. There were no personnel actions of the administration since the Board of Selectmen last met. And then just before my action items, just a couple of things in the update. First of all, I want to thank the Board of Selectmen, the Finance Committee, all of the department heads, and the residents of Ayer for another successful town meeting on Monday night.
2 members of the Board of Selectmen.
Pardon?
Stop.
Okay. So we look forward to
Covered for you.
And they were awesome. Let me tell you.
I'm sure they were
we
phenomenal.
look forward to implementing all of the projects as well as the FY19 budget that was approved. And it's never too late to start. I know we'll talk later tonight about FY 2020 and that process.
I just want to say that I do have to say this about town meeting. With all the technological fiasco of Monday night, the fact that it was noticed that when somebody got up to speak because the mics weren't working,
The entire night.
everyone went into a hush. And that was really quite nice to see. Everybody was really trying very, very hard to listen. People were trying very hard to speak up. And I think that despite all the technological, which I still can't believe how bad it went technologically, how amazing it was. You know, so it's kind of nice to know that even when technology fails, we're going to be okay. So I just have to commend everybody on that. That was quite something.
Does that revert back to our 6:30 cancellation?
Well, that's what I did
don't know
want to
how that-
ask
that-
also.
and stuff happens, so I just didn't know if that is set up by the school or if that's set up by APAC or how it works with sound checks and all that. I mean, obviously stuff should have been
Right.
checked.
Through the chair, right before many of you have arrived, and Ms. Antonellis can attest to this, a full sound check was done and everything was working as of about 6:40 or so. It is extremely frustrating. I know that APAC is taking it serious. As the board knows, were a lot of new people in APAC working that night. Again, those aren't excuses. They were planning to be here tonight at the invitation of the board previous. I guess there was some scheduling issues or so forth. So I will defer to the board if you want to reschedule them, or we can discuss that moving forward.
Yes, for me.
I do want to ask,
Yeah.
were they clear on the fact that our meeting was going to be tonight when you invited them to join us?
Yes, I had confirmation of them attending tonight at 6 o'clock as of Monday.
Okay, because I know when I
and then
talked to one of the
Tuesday.
members
Yeah.
Monday night,
Yeah.
Doug? Was it
Yeah.
Doug? Yeah. he seemed surprised, and I said, well, I don't know why you're surprised.
Yeah.
And then he was going to talk to see if, what was going on. So, and then of course there was the last minute cancellation.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of curious about that.
We've been
Yeah.
trying for this meeting for
This
some time.
we've asked them many a time
Yeah.
to come forward. And yes, I agree. I'd like to see them come forward because there's been a lot of issues.
Oh,
There's
agreed.
been a lot of issues, and there's a lot of angry people out there wanting this to work, the APAC system to work, and they're getting pretty frustrated at this not working. So, yeah, I'd like to see them come
Okay.
forward also.
And I agree, and also Dr. Malone was going to come tonight, obviously without APAC board coming. She would come back because the feeling is that APAC, the town, and the schools, it's the three, partners, and I know that she would like to see the studio up there move to the
Yeah.
next level, and they have some of the concerns on the school side that this board does, so.
Right.
Okay. Just also on Wednesday, May 16th, I met with Nasoya. At their invitation was myself, Superintendent Wetzel, the building commissioner, and the health agent for an update on their process regarding the resolution of the odor issues. It was a very positive meeting. I will transmit to the board and also will be available to the public through the BOS office their detailed plans. Per the DEP, their entire system has to be fully operational no later than August 31st, and there are steps they're taking to move forward with that. There are two things they do need from the town. They will be approaching the building commissioner for a building permit for a 75-foot cement slab that this new piece of equipment is going to be put on, and they do have to come to the Zoning Board of Appeals to seek a variance for the stack that they need to put as part of this. We're going to work to the extent we can with them to facilitate that process. They're in the process of getting the abutter notifications for that. I asked them specifically, as I know the board was concerned, as were residents, what accounted for the May 3rd and May 8th odor incidents. As the board are probably aware, there were formal reports made through the reporting on May 3rd and May 8th. What they explained to us, they had equipment failure with the controls that automatically do the chemicals, and the pH monitoring failed, so they were doing it manually. This happened on the evening of May 3rd. That then put the pH and so forth, the whole process out of whack, and they believe that as they were balancing that back and fixing that equipment, that's what also led to the incident on May 8th. They did show quite a few slides of the equipment that they have fixed and so forth. I stressed again that the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Health, the neighbors and so forth are still extremely frustrated, and every time there is an incident...
Just so you're aware, there's going to be one. There's one today.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
And again, from my vantage point, they seem to be doing everything they can. The DEP has issued 2 more consent orders with penalties for this, and they are releasing tomorrow. They're mailing another update, which I will send also to the board, to all of the abutters, and we'll put
It's essentially what they sent us, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So, as someone who's experienced it, it is far less prolonged. I don't know. I mean, we had weeks. I would say a couple hours in these 2 incidents, and I didn't think it was that bad. Of course,
So there are signs of...
Oh, absolutely,
improvement.
absolutely. I think you probably saw in the email that I asked Mr. Gata if he could update us a couple weeks ago, just because there was a few complaints as people were. Obviously, as soon as they smell it, they wonder, is this going to be 2 weeks?
Right.
And everything seems to be, through him, much more responsive in terms of, I understand where, I think it was in 2 days you get back to us with a detailed incident report, where before it was, hands up in the air.
Yep. So Mr. Gata he's the CEO. He is right at the forefront. He seems to be on this. They have 2 engineering firms now, one working that's on air quality. the other one that's working on this exact system.
Air scrubbers.
The DEP schedule, as approved by the DEP, seems very aggressive. As we know, these things tend to move like a glacier. I know August 31st concerns many, myself included, with the summer months and so forth. And he's willing to come before the board at the board's request to further discuss. They're also going to be giving the town monthly reports, but if there's an incident or we need anything, to let him know right away. So I would agree with Selectman Hillman's assessment that it is improving. It's not at the level that Nasoya or the town or the DEP wants, but progress is being made.
What people fail to remember is this has been going on for
Years.
15 years probably. I mean, when I moved into Wagon Road in 2005, it was like, what is, coming out Westwood Road, it was, what is this? So I mean, this is something that's, I mean, we've pushed this along quite a bit in the last, what's it been, about a year? Since we started, well, maybe 2 years since. But now that the CEO is engaged, it seems to be moving forward much faster.
And then just one other item under my report as an update is the ongoing efforts per this board with respect to the conditions of the rail corridor. The board saw Chief Pedrazzi has taken on the lead for the town with respect to the main corridor issues and the rail tie issues, which are largely Pan Am issues. You saw his detailed work on that. The expectation was made very clear from this board that the corridor would be addressed and cleared all the way from the Ayer Littleton line to the Shirley Air line. They did start to remove the ties on the Shirley side of over on the old Greenville line.
I don't think they were done with the DPW like you had mentioned in your. I mean, they might have been that way, but
I think it was
because I was working down there.
So they started over that way, but we did ask today. They're going to be addressing it all over the place. They're going to be reporting to the fire chief on a weekly basis, and then we'll be sending those updates to the board. But the expectation on the rails ties is to get all of that material out. So that's the first piece. The second piece, which is equally important, is the Willow Road situation and the commuter rail platform. Both of those are MBTA Keolis.
Sandy Pond Road too.
In a piece of Sandy Pond as well. The plan is, again, for the Willow Road, that all needs to be fenced in is what we're working on, and screened in. If you've been by there, the gate's been open. Our folks removed that hydrant finally that was there. And the chief, again, has been a great point on that. The same thing with the platform over here is to remove the material that can be removed and to screen it. So again, as the first phase, as we move forward. The third piece, there were concerns that have been raised about two particular crossings. We all know the Groton-Harvard Road crossing. Sometimes the train there is blocking for up to a half hour. The Sandy Pond Road crossing and the Wagon Road crossing are the three crossings. I've asked our town council. There's a statute that has to do with the time that it's 5 minutes maximum, and if that is how that can be enforceable and how we can use that as well as other legal options. Our chiefs and DPW have reached out to the railroad throughout the years on this, but it is a concern that we need to have a better system in place. Also on the Wagon Road crossing, when there are trains that are idling and blocking that, though there is an access road around that, the fire chief wants an emergency communication protocol so they know, because they're residents and one of our assets on that side.
Which is me.
And not just you, there's others. And then same with Sandy Pond in here. So the administration, we are working diligently on these rail issues, and we'll keep you as well as the public updated. So far, I'm encouraged by the response, and we're hoping that will continue. And I must applaud Chief Pedrazzi specifically, is really is getting results and demanding the timely manner of
that was
results.
Impressive, actually. I don't know if you guys looked over detail, but to get all the coordinates and all that.
Yeah.
There was a almost thermonuclear meltdown by a resident yesterday in regards to the Wagon Road crossing. But
Was it you?
Was it you?
yeah. So, which got some attention.
Who's surprised?
It was pretty bad. Well, maybe not the meltdown, but what was going on. So
But Selectman Hillman, there should not be a train blocking it for 4.5, 5
Yeah.
hours. So the chief is working with them on those
and
three
Chief Murray and
crossings.
Chief Pagazi's response was immediate and pretty swift. So I think that solicited some action or at least some promises of action throughout the town.
So we'll continue to update the board as well as the public. If there are any questions, just let my office know, and we will get right with the railroad on that. So we will keep that going. Lastly, at our next meeting, June 5th, Mark will be back regarding the parking project update, the schedule, which remains as it was presented, just so they would like to come.
With design?
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. As planned. So that'll be June 5th. That'll be Mr. Fisher will be coming. And then lastly, we are in the process of contacting everyone to prepare for the appointments by the board. We usually do it both meetings in June as a two-part process on appointments. So we will begin to prepare those. And Madam Chair, if I may, with respect to appointments, there is one important issue pertaining to this that the board is aware of. The Neshoba Valley Technical High School, the school committee, as the board is aware, Ayer has two representatives, a primary representative and an alternate representative. And it's been several years since we've done those appointments, and our current primary representative, due to serious medical issues, unfortunately, is going to be unable to perform those duties. And the alternate that we appointed, as I understand from the school, attended one or two meetings several years ago and hasn't since. And efforts by my office and the school, the Neshoba Valley Tech, to contact the alternate have been unsuccessful. We're going to give it till tomorrow on that. During that period of time, over the last, it's about a month and a half or so.
Excuse me, Robert. Excuse me, could we be quiet back there, please? Thank you.
Over that period of time, a resident did step forward asking to be appointed. This resident has a student that's there. She had spoken with the superintendent and I guess knows the chair of the school committee over in Westford at the school. And there seemed to be a sense of urgency, this was 2 months ago, with the budget process that the school committee wanted an Ayer rep there. So as this board knows, it's often difficult to get folks to fill these things. However, we were perhaps jumping the gun in that sense, that there was this sense of urgency. We were looking to potentially have that person appointed. As this board understands, per the rules of the regional school district, it has to be a joint appointment by the Board of Selectmen, our school committee, and the moderator. And obviously that hasn't been set up.
Was that in place before?
Yeah, we haven't done it in a long
Bring his own gown.
we haven't done it in a long time. Where I'm going with this is since then and since town meeting, it's come to my attention, which is a positive thing, that there are other residents in Ayer that are also very interested in serving on that committee. I know one of them is here tonight, Mr. Krell from the FinCom, that came to see me yesterday, which I appreciate, and also facilitated through Selectman Hood. I hadn't realized was interested. So the takeaway is, from the board, we should do a public process to open it up to everybody. I will speak to Ms. Fontaine. I don't think she was the woman that was interested. We'll have an issue with that. And if we're not successful in contacting the alternate and so forth, then
Can I add to that? I sought her out, 4 years ago? Because we
It's been
couldn't
about-
find anybody at the
it's
time.
been about almost 5 years. Yeah.
Her or youngest,
Mhm.
she has a younger daughter who's at the high school,
Mhm.
has graduated from the school, so my guess is that she's
Okay.
not going to follow through. I haven't spoken to her, but that would be my guess.
Yeah. So what I'm proposing is tomorrow's the 18th, that we open up, we advertise through like we do all appointments, give it a 2-week period. There are other folks that are interested. collect all of the letters of intent and resumes, transmit them to you, and see if we can schedule, as part of this meeting, get the regional school committee and the moderator here, either the 5th or the 19th, to do the appointments, and we may need to do consideration of an appointment for the primary as well as for the alternate. Both terms are 3-year terms, both have just about a year left on them. Both terms expire June 30th of 2019. So I appreciate the time on that, because I wanted to open that up, and I think it's great that we have multiple interest, because we probably need 2 people, and we look forward to moving forward with that. So does that sound like a plan to
Yeah,
approach
it does,
this
'cause
with?
we don't have a vote if we're not there, in terms of, Ayer doesn't have a vote if we don't have a representative at the
Correct, and our primary representative, as you know, Mr. Ted Janiskevich, has done a spectacular job since he was appointed. In fact, he signed all of the warrants for them. He was very involved, and unfortunately, due to severe medical situation, is no longer able to serve in that capacity. And that has been confirmed and communicated by the family, so it's not like the town was in any way looking to move around him.
Great.
All right.
Sounds good.
So with that, I have just 2 action items through the chair. If there is an objection, I'd ask Mr. Johnston to come up to the table.
Come on down.
As the board is aware, at your last regular meeting, the board voted to offer a high deductible health insurance plan to the town. And the second authorization was to authorize myself and Mr. Johnston to meet with the IAC to negotiate the terms, which we did do on May 14th. And so through the chair, I'll turn it over to Mr. Johnston to explain what we're proposing and what we're seeking from you this evening.
Okay. Good evening, Madam Chairman.
Hi.
How are you? So, as Robert indicated, we did meet with the Insurance Advisory Committee with regard to discussing the options for the health savings account, the town's contribution, and the mechanism of contribution. And I would say to you that the meeting went well. The IAC proposed that the town contribute the maximum of 50% towards the deductible, and had requested that the funding be provided at the beginning of the plan year, so to reduce the exposure of anybody should they face a severe medical situation before they're able to build up any reserves in that account. I would say to you that based on the advice that we got from the third-party administrators of our healthcare plan, Group Benefit Strategies, and the health carriers, suggested to us that we consider the maximum percentage of funding it up front, so to stimulate a migration of our employees from our existing plans to this new high deductible plan. Not specifically to save the town money in their share of premiums going forward, but to mitigate increases going forward in the out years, because there'll be more expenditure of hard dollars to meet the deductible before there's any real impact on the rates themselves.
Right.
So that's our request of you tonight, that you approve 50% funding of the deductibles, which would be the deductible for an individual plan is $2,000. So it would be 50% of that, $1,000 for an individual, and the deductible for a family plan is $4,000, so it would be $2,000 for a family plan, and that we fund that at the beginning of the plan year. Any questions that I can answer for you?
So I've never had an HSA. So the funds that go into the account, I know when the employee puts their funds in the account, it rolls over into the next year. For the amount that the town would be putting in, does that, if they don't use the entire amount, does that roll into the next year with them and stay with the employee?
So to answer your question, any funding that is provided to the employee from the town becomes theirs once it's funded.
Okay. I guess the only other thing I'll add is I know from my experience just working that generally the funding is at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. How you said you're not waiting to the end of the year to.
Right.
Right.
To
I expect that there will be a couple, maybe, participants in the first year. Others will wait to see how it goes before they
Right.
make the decision to move. But it
Yeah.
certainly puts the health purchasing group in a position to move forward without having to, with these types of plans, without having to negotiate nickel and diming $5 increments to
Right.
co-payments going forward.
Right.
I love insurance, just want to state that, but I would like to make a motion that the town contribute 50% of the deductible for the HSA qualified health plan, and that this amount be paid in June of the plan year for employees enrolling.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I do have a question. So when would this begin calendar-wise?
So it's an interesting question. Our health care plan year is June 1st to May 31st. As you know, our
Okay.
fiscal year is July 1 to June 30th. There is adequate funding in the current year budget to fund anything that would need to be done at the beginning of the plan year this year.
So that's the FY18 budget?
Yes,
And then for the FY19 portion,
it's built in.
it's built in, okay. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
You as well.
And lastly, in your packet, there is a request for a one-day beer and wine license for St. Mary's Parish for Saturday, June 9th, for a time period of 1 p.m. To 9 p.m., which is recommended for your approval.
So moved.
I'll second.
Yeah, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Everybody try
Wait a
to
minute.
attend, it's fun.
Yes?
I'm sorry, but I had to come down. I wanted to let you know, after you mentioned APAC, they went off TV. You're not being televised right now.
It says recorded.
Jane, is that true?
May not be transmitting out there.
Yeah, no, that just because
As far as I can tell, everything is on.
It's not
And
on.
it's-
When did Jane
and
end
it's
up in there?
transmitted. And I haven't
Tonight.
touched anything.
You want me to go back?
Okay. You
Well,
just, Jane,
we're almost
Jane,
done.
just go back, continue doing what you're doing. We're going to continue the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Thank you.
unless there are any questions from the board, that concludes my report. I thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Robert.
righty.
So sooner than
Okay.
later for APAC? on the,
So, all right. Transfer station hours, general discussion. As we know, there was a citizens petition at town meeting. There was about over 100 people at town meeting, and the citizens petition was overwhelmingly approved. There have been rumblings over the years. This is now the official complaint that the hours need to be changed. They are not working for the people. And I agree. They're not working for the people. It does need to be fixed. We do need to, look at other towns, as was even mentioned at town meeting the other night. I know a couple years ago I had emailed some information to Robert about Groton, about their hours and how much it costs and everything. So I'd like to think that maybe they could work it out and get this all changed immediately. I will, for the benefit of Selectman Hood, the union did in 2013 promise us that if it became a problem, it would be fixed. So
Just to add to that, though, it is part of the
it is.
bargaining agreement.
It is part of the agreement, and that is the problem. But I remind that just to say that they did say that they would fix this if it became a problem. It does need to get fixed. This has become a problem, and I'd like to see if we could maybe, somehow it can be worked out. I see you there, Andrew. How are you?
I'm just here listening.
Okay.
Is it as someone that doesn't to go up there? Is it more in the summer when we get in the summer hours?
Right.
Yeah, so there was a petition at one of the town meetings, and it was to move the hours back 1 hour is the way the petition was worded. And I signed it because I was fine, opening an hour earlier at 7 as opposed to 8. at the time, and then the summer hours took everyone by surprise because we got the 1 hour rollback on the time, but then
Which I think worked
summer
out
came.
well.
Summer comes and it's 6 to 2, and when you're doing yard work on a Sunday afternoon and it's 2 o'clock, you're out of luck to get rid of what you're working on.
Well, if I remember originally, at the time, the DPW office had the summer winter hours, and that was part of the problem. So it was to align with their hours, and they don't have those hours anymore.
I've gotten plenty of complaints about the DPW hours in general.
Well,
Right, but I don't
yeah.
think they don't do that in the summer anymore. They
Yeah,
don't
they do.
have.
They do.
Yes, they do. I
Really?
was
Because
down there
according
today.
to,
No,
do they really?
I
Because
was-
the website says their
No.
office is open at 7:30.
their office is open at 7:30. Mark,
Yeah,
admin, Mona, Pam, they're there.
Okay,
And
because that
it-
was part of the problem.
Yeah, no,
right.
at 2:30 today, I was down there working on the new building, and it's 6 to 2:30, I believe,
Yeah.
until October.
Right.
And the reason was to align the DPW employees who are at the transfer station with similar hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the summer hours. Are there any, I'm just throwing out ideas because I'm a novice to this. Are there any late days or anything like that? I mean, is there any?
No, it's
event-
those hours for the 3 days that they're open, and that's it.
Okay. I just know some towns like, I don't know if it's, have like a 7 o'clock night and then early.
So I do have what
Just-
Lori Sable had thrown together. I asked her to send it to me, and everyone looks. Most of them are just general hours each day. Some of these towns are far away, so they're not really comparable. But most of them close around 3, 4, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Only a handful close at 2.
I would think, especially on a Saturday and Sunday, would be the more popular days.
Yeah.
So. Mary, hang on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Madam Chair, for years, it was understood that the one department that was open in town for the convenience of the residents was the transfer station, and it was 8 to 4, and everyone that went up there to work knew that. A couple of weeks ago, when they first started on the 6 to 2, I went down there on a Sunday. I thought there was an accident because the traffic was right out on Groton Harbour Road, and that it's horrible. It is horrible to get in there.
Pauline?
A couple of points, Madam Chair. A number of years ago, I think it's at least 2 contracts ago, so.
It was 2013. It was the fall of
Um,
2013.
I think it might have even been a little bit before that, but I'm not 100% certain at this point. I was opposed to the change, and I recall distinctly saying during the negotiation process, the gentleman who, Mr. Jackson, and I forget who the assistant was, took those jobs knowing darn right well the hours were 8 to 4. The vote of the board was a 4-to-1 vote to make the transfer station hours commensurate with the entire DPW, 6 to 2, 7 to 3, depending on the season. The town should give better notice, because I actually went up there one day, the other, to walking, because I didn't know when the time changed. And that's my own doing. But I also did a little research after hearing Ms. Sable's presentation at town meeting. I went to the 3 contiguous towns, Groton, Harvard, Littleton, that actually have transfer stations. Of course, Shirley has pickup. Groton is open 2 days, 7:30 to 4:30 Friday. I don't think anybody wants to go to the transfer station on Friday.
They've
And
changed
Saturday,
it from a
7:30
couple
to
years
4.
ago. Then.
They're not open Sunday at all, so they're open 2 days. That's something we should consider if we're going to change these hours again. Groton is open, Harvard is open 7:30 to 11:30, 4 hours on Wednesday, and Saturday 8 to 2. They're not open any other days.
Right.
So, and I think to a certain extent in Harvard, it's only recycling on one of those 2 days. I didn't like the change, but I adapted to the change, and quite honestly, I like not having to do things after 2 o'clock on Sunday, including going to the transfer station. I was one of the first ones to go last, and you will see that there are a lot of people rushing to get there last, for those of who go.
And that's going to happen no matter what time it's
Exactly.
closed.
Exactly, whether it's 2 or 12 or 4.
Yeah, so hold on a second. So just because I can't help but clarify, I was new on the board. It was around fall of 2013 because it was fall town meeting. The board agreed with the union to do a survey question. We agreed on the language, and we agreed at that time we would look at the results. And yes, I voted in favor for it because at the time I felt that that is what the people wanted. I do think that the 2 o'clock, especially on a Saturday and Sunday, is not working. The citizens petition on Monday night asked for at least 3 o'clock. I don't think that's reasonable. This is all discussion. It's all within the union. It's on contract and everything. So, but it is part of the discussion. There have been, and it's been quite a while, but where having it open on a Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock is actually kind of beneficial because I head into work. But that I haven't done that for a long time. My husband usually goes to the transfer station with the dog.
I believe Mr. Jackson did a survey
Yeah.
with respect to that opening at 6 a.m.
Right. So what? Now it's 5 years later, and the people are not happy.
Well, the 100 that came to the town meeting.
Right. And you got to look at, are they representing two more? So this is a conversation because obviously the people want us to have the conversation. The impact, of course, is the fact that we do have the union contract. I don't know if there's any way to reopen it or if we've got to wait. And I don't know if there's, if the transfer department can somehow rectify this situation themselves. Even if to give an extra hour at least on one day for the time being. I don't know.
Madam Chair, for you just briefly in terms of the contract, as mentioned, for everyone's benefit, the DPW contract is in effect till June 30th of 2019. The contract negotiations obviously will start no later than January, as we're looking to try to start all of the negotiations earlier. And as the board is well aware, as is the union, in a contract negotiation, everything is on the table. That being said, however, also the contract, that would be up to the Board of Selectmen, you can approach the union to reopen the contract for a specific item, which would open that contract up to negotiate, say, the issues of the hours. So that is another potential option. And then the third option, where it just happened on Monday, but I know Superintendent Wetzel alluded to it at the beginning of the meeting, is for the administration to speak with the union and the employees and see if there is a solution. I'll call that a non-contractual solution. But again, it would also be reduced to writing and so forth.
Right.
So those are the options.
Well, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm not in favor of opening up a contract that expires in a year, something we agree with. I am also listen to the people. Like I said, I don't want to speak as someone that uses it often, but I wonder, as part of the contract negotiation moving forward, that, as Pauline said, not all transfer stations are open on Sundays.
I think we're very lucky on that.
No, I agree,
Yeah.
but I mean, maybe there's other hours that work that one night it's open later, which offsets the people who can't go at 2 o'clock in the summer. And whether there's summer hours or part of the negotiation next year, that's something to look at too. But obviously, just think more outside the box as opposed to just changing the hour back, because there might be better ways to do it. With the input of the staff as well.
Right. Just one second. I do have to say this, and it gets, every now and then, this gets said over the years. Employees do have the right to ask for hours to be changed. So the fact that this happened years ago, the fact that there were employees in one department looking at what hours that another department are looking at and wanting to be maybe treated the same way, have the same hours, is not a bad thing. Okay? The only stupid question is the question not asked. The question was asked, they got the answer that worked out for them at the time, we're here 5 years later, it's not working right. So we have to come up with some type of a new solution. Scott?
I just want to put in, I agree with Chris. I don't think we want to reopen the contract at this point.
I agree.
I do believe that there could be some creative work with the hours. So the overall hours of the transfer station, the total that they're open for the week stays the same, but maybe one day is longer. The frustration I have with this is, the transfer station provides a service to the town as its customers, and they're dictating when those hours are. And that's kind of the frustration I have with it. So I think, worst case scenario, if we have to wait until we get into the next contract, that may be the worst case scenario, but maybe we can work something out in the meantime.
Well, I think that's a dialogue. You got to kind of talk with the union and see where it goes, and then we.
And in the meantime, just figure out some ideas.
So we will, the superintendent, Westland, myself, will speak with the employees in the union. Let's see if we can come up with a creative solution. I'm hearing from the board, keep the contract in place. Ultimately, there's no decision being made tonight, but that decision rests with the board. And we will report back, so maybe keep this on the agenda for the 5th and see if we can give we'll give an update.
Sounds good.
Okay.
On a positive note, Andrew, you always get high marks. I just want to let you know. Millie says hi. Millie's my dog. She adores him.
So there's not a holiday that passes. I'm in that transfer station. I haven't posted time changes, holidays, 2 months before it happens. I'll change so the public knows that comes to the transfer station. So there's never nobody can say, oh, I didn't know. I posted it in neon pink, neon yellow, at the compactor, in the reuse shed, because that's where everybody's at. The people, and a couple of the people that you're talking about that started the petition is a retired individual. And I talked to him, and I told him, go ahead and do it. We get all the signatures you want, but you're retired. You can come here anytime you want.
Yeah, he complains about a lot of things.
And there's a number of them that, even Lori's retired, she can come there anytime she wants. I know these people to the point to where I know what time they're going to show up. It's a few people, regular people that come in, and when they're doing their leaves and all, but a lot of people come in early in the morning. I'm there early anyway. When we were 8 to 4, people could not get in there because most people have to be at work at 8 o'clock. And then by 4 o'clock, we're closed. Most people get out of work at 3:34, so they couldn't get in there neither. So the hours were changed, yes, because I am a DPW employee, and I sat at that table, and I asked are we all public works? Yes, we are. So yes, the hours, if they have it, yes, that's fine, yeah. We would like to have the same hours too. We pay the same union dues, that's fine. It did help the traffic on Wednesday, because I'm early Wednesday, people come in before they go to work. You can say whatever you want to say, but I'm the manager that runs that place, and I see people coming in and out. And those people that are saying that it's not working, maybe it's not working for everyone. It didn't work for everyone at 8 to 4. No matter what. And there's a lot of people that come to that transfer station and wait till the last minute, and they'll tell you that, oh, I should have got in a little earlier. Listen, once you're in the gate, you do what you got to do. And I let people come in when we close. If they come up with trash.
You are very accommodating. Yes.
So, to Andrew's point, and I do agree with him. You get 100 people at town meeting. If it was, if you look at it, if it was that pressing of an issue, or it was affecting 2,000 people, I don't know how many people use the transfer station. Forget the numbers. You would think that the uproar would be more, and that's the downfall of town meeting, the democratic process. You tend to get the minority sometimes, and it feels like the majority.
Well, yeah.
Well, as I said,
42 people
there's
feels
been
like the
rumblings
majority.
over the year, but now it's full conversation.
But I don't think 8 to 4 worked.
No,
per se either.
no.
I think maybe a late night. I don't know, but I
get up
your
early,
point.
and you want to be.
I would
early.
go at 6 a.m. That would be beneficial to me for someone who doesn't get home until late. But so
my husband usually goes.
It's a valid point.
Madam Chair?
Hold on one second.
Sure.
So I know in the past, Finance Committee has done it. Cindy's done a couple. Is just doing a survey on the town website. Opens it up to the greater general public. I think we can get better feedback whether there is a larger desire for the hours to change.
I agree. I think that's not a bad idea.
And to point out, Andrew, this isn't an attack on you or anything. This is a citizen's petition that,
Listen, I go to work every day. I come to work, I do my job. I'm not really about the splatter of people talking.
I get you.
I do my job, so it is what it is. And I accommodate my customers that come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm there for.
He does do his job.
No, I hear nothing but positive things. All right.
I think the poll is a good idea.
How about in preparation for the 5th, we would just prepare a draft of that instrument to facilitate the discussion and get your input.
That would be good.
And I'm open to any suggestions on the questions or so forth, but we'll put a draft just to facilitate the discussion. I think that's a good idea, because getting it up is easy and getting it out there.
Any other questions we want to ask while we're doing this?
You kidding me?
One
Let's
subject
stay
at a
all
time.
night.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't want us to hear all night.
All right, Colleen, you have
So
a
then,
question.
why don't, if anyone figures out, like, hold on 1 second. Oh, sorry, Paul. Wait a minute.
Finish.
Back to chair. Got to juggle here. Finish thought. If
Survey.
everyone could, if they think of
Yeah.
a question or how they would like the question worded, send it to Robert so that he can work on something to present to us on the 5th. Carly, were you raising
No,
your
it's
hand?
actually in my head.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I wasn't sure. All right, Pauline.
Just one comment, and you all know this, so it's beating a dead horse, but no matter what hours you change or don't
There's going to
change,
be people unhappy. That's right. But I think that because of what happened, the rumblings, the town meeting, the fact that we're having the conversation and that we're going to seek out further information is a good thing. And then we'll see what happens. Who knows? We could end up being really surprised.
Good.
So, all right. Anything else on that?
No.
Okay. Andrew, it's always a pleasure to see you. All right. Selectman Hood.
All right. So one of the things that brought me to this seat is actually my overall frustration with the budget process over the last 4 or 5 years. And being on the finance committee, I've worked closely with the administration, and Robert and Lisa have been great support, but it always feels like there's it's like controlled chaos. In this past fiscal year, or past budget cycle, there were a lot of fluid changes in the budget that were material from an amount that were happening at the last moment. Robert and I have been talking, actually, I think we started this conversation a couple months ago, about really putting together a group to look at the budget process and laying out a calendar that works so that it completes the budget process in a timely manner, so that most importantly is to actually give the ability for the public to review and digest the numbers, maybe have a Q&A session before, not an hour before town meeting, but maybe like a couple weeks before town meeting or before the budget itself is approved. Looking at some of the financial policies that we do have in place. I know we have a few holes in there that it does impact the budget process, and those are due for updating also. So I think those would go hand
I
in
saw
hand.
old meeting minutes where I guess I worked with you back then to help you with that. I was like real
It
new.
was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 4 years ago. So yeah.
So what I would like to do is work with Robert and put together a group that would be 2 members of the finance committee, 1 or 2 members of the finance committee. I'd love to represent the board of selectmen on this. Work with Robert, town accountant, treasurer.
I don't think we should let him, of all people.
I
don't think he's qualified.
So unless you're going to do it, it's going to be him, it's not going to be me.
And
I had to pick on you.
no, it's all right. So, in addition to the calendar, one of the items we really want to focus on is also how the information is presented. There was 1 year during the budget cycle, the finance committee, we tried to put our budget model, which is in a little more detail than it's printed in the warrant, on the town website, but it was changing so quickly. Cindy actually had problems keeping up with the different versions.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we look at the way we're presenting the information, the presentations at town meeting, and most important, like I said, is just trying to complete the budget a month before town meeting so that the public can review it and ask questions.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
I think it sounds great.
To go off that, I agree with you. And we've tried to do that with capital. We've talked about this. Another thing we need to do, if people truly are, is to get people interactive and involved in
I
the
agree.
process. I mean, you get, you know, you know when people get involved in December when we have the tax classification hearing.
Right.
Don't stop spending money at town meeting. You know, our taxes keep going up, and then they're gone. So that's another challenge, is getting people that want to come and learn. So, but I do agree with you. An earlier process is definitely doable. I know it's a little harder, but I think it benefits everybody probably in the end.
I agree with Scott, and we've been talking about this, as you said, the last couple of months. And one of the things also, and I know Selectman Hood is the buy board rep for the BOS, we're thinking the buy board needs to meet more often than it has, but not just for the sake of meeting to meet, but to really work on it. We'll have a couple members from the FinCom and others that we need to really work on this schedule. And I agree, it's refining and codifying the schedule, how the information is presented, and when we mention surveys and so forth, also what information do people want, not want. Also some further public education. I mean, I know Mr. Hogan from the assessors is also willing on like basic things like how the tax rate is set and so forth for the benefit, you know, of the public outreach.
And I was going to ask about that because I thought about that today, that, you know, last year at the tax classification hearing, we were actually lucky 2 people showed up. And that they talked about maybe like having like a public hearing, another meeting, or not a public hearing, but like an informational meeting before they have the tax classification hearing to get people to understand it a little better. And so, yeah, I'd like that to be, you know, followed up on also. And
I'll add so I've been doing the budget for 8+ years now on the finance committee, and it took me about 5 or 6 years to actually realize that the money we spend at spring and fall town meeting is what drives the tax classification in December.
yes,
A lot of people think it's the other way around. We set
Correct.
the tax classification, that drives what we can spend in the next two town or the next calendar year. So I think it's important that we really look to educate the public so there's a good understanding of
I
how
agree.
the whole process works. And maybe that will garner some more interest and we'll get more than 142 people at town meeting.
It is good
Actually,
because
it's a pretty good number for town meeting.
it's because it's hard because people say, well, my taxes are going up. My taxes are going up. You know, you get the same people.
Mhm.
And I like I said in December, I begrudge nobody that wants to come here and complain about the taxes because no one complains about paying taxes more than I do overall as a business owner. But to educate the people why, I mean, is good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you can take your what you've spent on taxes and what Superintendent Wetzel has put forward in the last 5 years, and you know what the school has become, and equate it to, wow, your taxes have gone up, but your property values have also soared as well.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's a whole balance there, and like I said, no one wants to see increased taxes, and we're all taxpayers too in the community. So I think it's hard to do at that meeting when we're meeting with Tom for the first time about it. So I agree with that.
Well, I think it sounds great.
All right. Thanks very much.
Let us know if you need anything else.
I will.
All right.
And
Yes.
quick question for you, and I don't know if it's possible, but somebody asked, and especially after the article that was presented at Alts, and it's been on every news show and paper and whatnot, that municipalities are going to be in big trouble in a couple of years because of high salaries and benefit packages, and the only way they're going to be able to go forward is to keep doing overrides. So what I want to know is there anything you can do with putting some money aside? And I don't know how you do it, but I figure you're a lot of smart people around the table, you'll find this out. some kind of fund to apply to the taxes. You know, and I have never voted no on a budget, but it gets to be very, very difficult when you're living on a fixed income and you get about $19 more in your Social Security check. That, you know, we don't want to be pushed out of our homes either, but it only stretches so far.
So almost like an OPEB type.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah.
something to
And
think about.
You know, and I think it was a terrific thing with Cataldo's buying the property. And I know they have to pay, I think, all.
Well, when they buy the property,
Yes.
before the current owner gets paid, we get ours, and then he'll
Right.
get whatever's
So
left.
is there any way you could set that money aside and start doing something?
Well,
I think
it's
that has
definitely
to go into
something
the
to
general
think
fund, though,
about.
right? It
Yeah.
Because
does,
everything
it's-
gets sucked into the general fund, sort of like
Yeah.
the state budget,
Right.
you know, they say it's gonna go for this and that, but it goes to the general fund.
Right.
I think an important next step, maybe after we get the FY 2020 budget process set, is to look at more of like a 5-year plan and see where we're tracking financially, and then, you know, take things like that into consideration of how we can, you know, plan better for the future, as opposed to just doing this 1 year at a time, which is what, you know, we've kind of done, but we've always had to look to the future when
Right.
we're working through the budget. And I know, you know, working with Robert, that, you know, the administration's had that view also. It's not just, you know, 1 year spending. We're looking ahead. We're doing infrastructure on capital, et cetera.
Well, that was going to
Sounds
say,
good.
piggyback off that, the capital. I mean, obviously, we look out, and we have to, you're right, see what we get going, because, I mean, eventually, we're going to be looking at an elementary school. So we have to plan for that, and where we are in that process, which is a huge burden on the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Benefit for the community, but, and then, like I said, with capital, but, you know, you can plan all you want, but, I mean, we didn't see $4 million coming for PFAS.
Exactly.
And there's always something that's, you know, a
Right.
curveball that's thrown at us. So I do agree with the model, and then maybe we can factor in some contingency. But if you take $1 million and give it to all the taxpayers back, you give them about probably a $4 credit on their taxes. So it seems like a lot, but when you spread it all out,
Well, it's something to think about.
yeah, I agree.
So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else?
I would just ask for the next meeting possibly, and I should ask the superintendent this, and I know Chief Murray is in agreement too. The Groton-Harvard Road intersection with Central.
I'm sorry.
The Groton-Harvard Road intersection with Central Ave. I know, I mean, has
The
anybody?
Lincoln line.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's awful. And I know, what's funny
Been
is,
awful for 50 years.
yeah, I know Superintendent Wetzel was trying to get that as a part of a project too. But I mean, I know it's not on the capital plan, but I don't know if it's a major improvement, which would have to be done there. Chief Murray pointed it out to me, and he's 100% correct. When you're coming from Groton Harvard Road towards Main Street, you look up, you're looking up a hill.
Yeah.
And your perception, and until he pointed it out, I never realized it, but
There's also shrubs right on the edge
shrubs,
there.
and then you're not lined up, so the
Yeah.
car's coming across, it's just, going to the
It's
school.
one nice thing about the new cars with the sensors. You start inching out, and all of a sudden it's like lighting
Yeah.
up like a Christmas tree, and you're panicking, thinking what's coming at me. And luckily, it's just warning you, and
But,
there's actually still some room.
Just, is there a way to somehow invest, not even redo, like, $1 million project, but maybe realign,
Yeah.
try to,
Have it evaluated.
yeah, I've been meaning to ask about this for a while. I know the DPW superintendent and the police chief agree, I just want to know what we can do.
It is the highest incident of motor vehicle accidents. That's where they happen.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
intersection.
I think we should definitely do something about
So
it.
Selectman Hillman, what if for the 5th, we put this under new business under you? And in leading up to that, I will contact both of the chiefs.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
Mark,
I think we're all in agreement,
and
it's just,
see, yeah, and we can start that discussion and what can be done, and also with capital, a new capital
Yeah.
season coming.
because I don't think
Okay.
there's nothing on, I don't recall anything on capital for traffic improvements there.
No,
I know it's been mentioned, but
yeah.
it tends to get mentioned after a bad accident, which we've had several
Yeah.
there this year, and probably will continue to have.
All right.
That's it for me.
That's it.
Just one thing, or two things actually. So I had sent out an email I'd gotten regarding the robotics team, and I'd like to put forth an invitation for them. And actually, the other thing that has came to my attention is actually the band up at the high school has done some wonderful, amazing things.
Yes, I saw that.
And I don't think they've ever been recognized. So if we could,
Sure. I
know
actually
we only
mentioned
have
that to you, Robert. Didn't I,
2
in
meetings
passing,
in
that
June.
if we're going to get we get all the athletics teams in, we have to recognize all the.
Yeah, the band and the drama, they kind of go hand in
Yeah.
hand. They've done a great job.
And we still have the track. The kid.
I was just going to say to the chair.
The reporters?
So the 5th, we have the reporters, the plan is the reporters and the track. Do you want us to see if we can get these guys then, or do them for the 19th? I mean,
it's up to you.
Well, it depends. Well, let me put it this way: the agenda looks like it's getting a little big, so would be good to do 2 and then 2.
Yeah, I agree, because you kind of get.
And plus, that might give. If we do it that way, it might give them each a little bit more of a chance to shine on that night. Because, we can do the one group, get rid of that, do the second, and have them shine a little better. Then just by the 4th one, people will be like, they all look the same.
but in the event, Madam Chair, in the event, because I know the last day of school's coming,
Then
we have to
obviously
do all
they come in. Then
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we've got
21st.
robotics, the band, the track,
Yep.
and the reporters.
Yep. Find out what works with them. That's just a suggestion.
And I'm not sure that the outdoor track isn't that?
They won the league match. The boys won the league match. The girls came in 5th.
Okay.
So I think
we had the robotics in a few years ago. I mean, they've done fantastic, but it's great to have them back again, just to recognize their achievements. Great.
All right. I'm afraid to ask. Anything else?
No, I'm done.
All right.
Move on to minutes.
All right. Can I'll make a motion. I make a motion that the meeting minutes from May 1st to 2018 be approved as submitted.
I'll second.
I read them line by line, and they looked fantastic. So
Lie.
I did read them through. They looked fine.
They look very good. So, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
There you go, Scott. You get to
All
sign
right.
your first official.
So, just FYI, everyone, our next meeting is back to Tuesday,
At
June
7.
5th at 7 p.m.
Sign on the bottom.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
That's the date.
Today's date, and that's here.
Seconded.
Thank you, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.